So it's been about 23 days now since we overseeded our yard, but it's only been 11 days since we got our first rain. So it's really only been about 11 days that the grass really would have started to germinate. Don't mind that rooster, by the way. We have some young roosters and they're learning to crow for the first time, and they're crowing nonstop. I have a whole half a pallet of fertilizer here, and I got my spreader here. And today we are going to be fertilizing our yard for starter fertilizer for this new overseed. Now, the reason I didn't do it the day I put the seed in, you can do it that way too, but a lot of times when you're overseeding, if you fertilize the day of, because of the fact you're overseeding, the existing grass is already going to grow a lot compared to the seed that takes a while to germinate. So if you fertilize at the same time of overseeding, the existing grass is going to grow that much more and potentially could shadow out your seed. We have a little bit under a 2-acre yard. It's a rural property. We don't have irrigation. We don't have any of that stuff. So we're mainly relying on rain when we do this. Well, actually, we're 100% relying on rain and just the weather and soil temperatures and all that stuff. So anyways, as you can see, I have 14 bags of 10-10-10 fertilizer here, and I am getting ready to spread this today. The question is, how did I know how much fertilizer to buy for our yard? Well, that's a really good question. Now, let me go up here and I'll show you some basic fertilizer math. This will work if you have a 1/4 acre lot, an acre lot, a 5-acre lot, doesn't matter. It'll work, and it'll basically get you right to where you need to be. Also, hang around to the end of the video, guys, because I will be showing y'all what our germination looks like after 11 days. So I have 10-10-10 fertilizer. I apologize for my handwriting. I don't have a stylus, so this is the best I can do. But 10-10-10 fertilizer stands for 10% nitrogen, 10% phosphorus, and 10% potassium. A Google search will show that you need between 1/2 to 1 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet of yard. So I'm going to go with the 1 pound measurement. 1 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. Okay? They do 1,000 square feet because, this is yards and a lot of people have small yards. But I want to figure out how many pounds of nitrogen I need for 43,560 square feet. That's because that is the square feet in 1 acre. You can go to Google Earth and you can you draw little lines around your property, and you can cancel out your buildings and everything, and you can figure out exactly what square footage you have of yard. So you would put that there in the bottom. But this is going to give us for 1 acre. So quick math, you times these across like that. So you would do 1,000x equals 43,560. X would equal 43.56. And that is pounds of nitrogen per acre. We have 1.6 acres of yard. So we're going to do 43.56 times 1.6. It's going to get you about 70 pounds. So we need about 70 pounds of nitrogen for our whole yard. But if you recall, the fertilizer that we're using is only 10% nitrogen. That's what these numbers stand for. There's only 10% nitrogen in that bag. So take your 70 pounds that we need, divide it by 0.1. That's 10%, 0.10. Your number will come up to 700. So we need 700 pounds of fertilizer to give us 70 pounds of nitrogen. You can check that if you want. You can do 700 times 0.10 for 10% and you get 70 pounds. Now, how many bags do we need? So you take 700 pounds of fertilizer divided by 50-pound bags, gives us 14 bags. Now, 14 bags, and it was $15.59 a bag, puts it up to $218 to fertilize my 1.6 acre yard. When I overseeded 23 days ago, they were predicting rain, but we didn't end up getting any, and for the following 12 days there was no rain, so the grass seed just sat dormant on top of the soil. Since then, it has been raining non-stop for the past 11 days, which has been fantastic for the overseeding. If I had known the weather would be this good, I would have used a higher seed rate to take advantage of it. Today is just about the first sunny day we've had, but since more rain is expected tomorrow, I'm applying fertilizer now so it gets watered in. Well, I promised you that I would show you the results of 11 days of that overseeding project. Now, a lot of this grass, you know, the Kentucky bluegrass and all that won't even germinate in 11 days. So this is just what has germinated. So look at this bare spot here. We have all kind of grass coming up there in that bare spot. So I'm tickled with it. I mean, look, River's coming over to investigate. Hey girl. Okay, so here was a big bare spot that was really bad. And if you get down close, I don't know if it'll come up on camera, but there is all kinds of germination happening in here. And again, guys, this is a rural yard. We don't have irrigation or anything. So this is all just based on rain. And on these big bare spots, I mean, there's no top covering or anything on this seed. We just spread it and we used a yard roller and rolled it in. So here's the last area I'll show you just for an example. But if I pull this back, you can see there is really good germination in there. Well, there you have it. I am super pleased with how the germination rate has turned out so far after 11 days. I can only imagine that it'll keep getting better as the Kentucky bluegrass and those grasses start to come up. And you know, I didn't think we were going to get any rain in the beginning, and then all of a sudden we started having the perfect conditions for this. Rain and mist for like 2 weeks straight. So if you guys want to go out there and check out the video of how I overseeded this yard, I will put that right here, and we'll catch you again next time.